The Senate Democratic leader says there should be no vote on the tax bill until Democrat Doug Jones is seated in the Senate. Jones, as you know, defeated Republican Roy Moore in Alabama's special Senate election by about 1.5% of the vote on Tuesday night. But state officials are still counting some of the ballots, and Moore refuses to concede. Manuel Bojorquez is in Birmingham with Moore's possible options. Manuel, good morning.
Good morning. Unless Doug Jones' final margin of victory is within 0.5 percentage point, the state will not launch an automatic recount. Roy Moore can request one and pay for one himself after Alabama declares Jones the winner. And so far, Moore refuses to surrender.
We are indeed in a struggle to preserve our republic, our civilization, and our religion, and to set free a suffering humanity. And the battle rages on.
In a nearly 5-minute video statement released overnight, Republican Roy Moore refused to concede Alabama's special election after being defeated by Democrat Doug Jones.
It's as clean cut as it's going to get.
Jones says senators from both parties and even President Trump called to congratulate him.
We talked about finding that common ground to work together, and he invited me over to the White House to visit as soon as I get up there.
Alabama's Secretary of State, Governor, and Attorney General together have until January 3rd to certify the votes before an automatic recount can be considered.
This has been a very close race, and we are awaiting certification by the Secretary of State.
Steve Flowers is Alabama's leading political analyst. Roy Moore has said it's not over yet. Does he really have a case for a recount?
Under Alabama law, he really doesn't. If he wants a recount, he's got to pay for it, which costs about $1 million, which he probably doesn't have.
Jones says he's leaving it to Moore to reach out to him.
I would say do the right thing, Roy. It's time that we heal. You know, it's time that we get together.
It's not the first time Roy Moore has refused to admit defeat. As Chief Justice of Alabama's Supreme Court, he refused to follow a federal court order to remove a monument to the Ten Commandments from the courthouse, and later he rejected the Supreme Court's decision legalizing same-sex marriage. He was removed from office both times. John?
Manuel, thanks.